everyone, I'm Crystal Cruz. Breaking news tonight on News West 9 at 6. A wanted murder suspect in Midland back behind bars. And we've learned he was in the country illegally. The Midland County Sheriff's Office says Aldo Isaac Aranda Cortez was arrested in Martin County today. He was located on the 1300 block of North Lamesa. We're told he's the prime suspect in the murder of 44-year-old Hilda Belak Aranda. She was found in a home on West County Road 123 on Sunday and later died at the hospital. Cortez is now in the Midland County Jail. Well, concerns about the measles outbreak. New cases are popping up in West Texas. Let's start in Ector County. The state is reporting 2 cases there now. We know one case involves an infant who is too young to be vaccinated. Right now, we don't have any details on the new case. But this morning, the Ector County Health Department had sent off 3 tests to the lab to check for measles. We're told the biggest concern right now in Ector County is for infants 12 months and under who can't get a vaccine. If you feel your child is showing symptoms, seek medical attention. But the health department says do not do this.
Do not take them to the doctor's office or the emergency rooms, because that's where we get exposures, and that's where other little children are being exposed in those pediatric clinics, in those hospitals, when they're sitting in waiting rooms. So we highly suggest that you call. Let your doctor know what signs and symptoms they're having, how long they've had those signs and symptoms, and if you know they have been exposed to someone who is a confirmed or someone who has been ill, that's important information to share with your pediatrician.
Well, the big worry here, exposing anyone. Measles is highly contagious and spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. What's worse, the Ector County Health Department says it sticks around.
It can sit in the air for up to 2 hours after the infected person has left. You can still be exposed for up to 2 hours. And it can also live on hard surfaces, so doorknobs and things like that.
Well, storing testing samples is also an issue for the Ector County Health Department. It's something they talked to county commissioners today about. Once the samples are collected, they need to be sent to the state lab, and they're only viable for a certain time. And on the weekend, well, storing them is a problem. Last weekend, Midland Memorial had to help them out because they didn't have a freezer to put them in.
So on the weekends, we don't have carriers that can pick up those samples from us. So we need to store them, and you have to store them in a special freezer that is a negative 70 Celsius freezer. So at this time, Medical Center is the only one in Ector County that has that freezer. So I was suggesting, as being a health department, and highly recommending that our providers and our physicians send to the state lab, that we should have that resource available for them to help make that easier.
Well, now let's look at another West Texas county where the measles have spread. Martin County is now reporting 3 cases. In all, the state is reporting 124 cases, an increase of 34 since late last week. 18 people have been hospitalized, most of those children ages 5 to 17. The bulk of the cases, 80, remains in Gaines County, where the outbreak began. Well, with the recent measles outbreak, the Ector County Health Department is holding a vaccine clinic. It's set for this Thursday. This is for the MMR vaccine. Keep in mind, pregnant women cannot get the live vaccines. Now, you must qualify and you not have insurance. No insurance or Medicaid will be accepted. Patients under 26 years old should bring a copy of their shot record. The clinic is on 221 North Texas Avenue. It will be open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Do you remember the Midland man caught on camera last week threatening to jump off an I-20 overpass? Well, here's that video from last Tuesday. This is 34-year-old Daniel Aguilar Lopez. According to the arrest report, officers had been chasing him after he was suspected of stealing a bike and backpack from the I-20 Walmart. Well, police were able to tackle him before he fell, and then they arrested him. Well, News West 9 has learned he had been arrested the day before and was out of jail. Officers were called to South Midkiff near the Texas leadership of Midland. According to the affidavit, Lopez yelled at officers, held a knife against his forearm, and started taking off his clothes in the middle of the intersection. The report says he made threats to hurt himself. Now, when officers approached, they say he became aggressive. An officer eventually tackled him and Lopez dropped the knife. Now, while in jail, the report says officers found meth on him He faces charges involving aggravated assault on a public servant, having drugs in a school zone, and having drugs in jail. Right now, his bond is set at $218,000. We have an update on a missing man out of Hobbs, a sad one. The city says 72-year-old Charles Yaws was found dead yesterday by police officers. Since January 29th, New Mexico State Police and Hobbs Police had been looking for him after issuing a silver alert. His family has been notified. We're still waiting to hear about the cause of his death.
Well, we're leaving this evening with plenty of sunshine, plenty of warm temperatures too. Right now outdoors, 81 degrees, still kicking it up a little bit in terms of those winds, about west-southwest 15 miles an hour. It's bringing a lot of dry and warm air into the region, but it feels a little cooler given that you have a nice breeze and the fact that it's just so dry out there. A couple places managed to get into the 90s. Dryden was the first one. They're now down to 88. Big Bend is still at 91, a mix of those 80s across the Permian Basin, the Trans-Pecos, and much of southeastern New Mexico. It's going to stay nice and dry for really the next day or so until we start to see this next cold front. Don't worry though, temperatures, they're not going to fall to the point you need to drip your pipes. Crystal?
Command engine start. 2, 1, ignition.
You are looking at Blue Origin's launch from West Texas today. The company sent another group of astronauts into suborbital space. This morning's launch from Van Horn was the commercial rocket company's 10th space tourism mission. Not long after takeoff, the reusable New Shepard rocket landed safely, followed shortly by the crew capsule. 6 crew members were on board, among them venture capitalist Lane Bess, Spanish TV host Jesus Calleja, and entrepreneur and physicist Elaine Chia Hyde. Well, if you live in Big Spring and you notice you have low to no water pressure, don't panic. There's a water leak on the 300 block of Northwest 9th Street. Utility crews are working to resolve the issue. Your water pressure should be back to normal once repairs are complete. If you have any questions, contact Big Spring's Public Works Director. Well, a heads up for Midland drivers, the all-way stops at the I-20 frontage road at Midkiff will be gone tomorrow. The traffic signals will be working instead. They'll be on the east and westbound frontage roads along with north and southbound Midkiff. Keep in mind as you're driving around the area, crews are still on site, so be careful. Well, if you live in Midland, utility crews will be working on several streets starting tomorrow. Missouri Avenue between Marienfeld Street and Colorado Street will be closed tomorrow until March 7th. They'll also start work on Fort Worth Street from Mississippi Avenue to Louisiana. This one will take a little longer. It will be shut down until March 12th. And lastly, the Holloway Alley from F Street to G Street will be closed from February 26th to March 14th. And a reminder, if you drive down Highway 191, an exit will be closed starting tomorrow. The eastbound exit for FM 1788 and Highway 349 will be blocked off. It will be closed from tomorrow through Friday, February 28th. If you need to get to that area, TxDOT recommends you use the exit ramps at Faudree or Billy Hext. Next week is Ash Wednesday, the start of Lent, and in Odessa, Connection Christian Church is making those ashes to go. They've set up several sites for the faithful around town for people to take part in the tradition of receiving a sign of the cross with ashes on their forehead. The ashes signify mortality and penance. The church has been offering this service for 7 years. Here are the places you can go to. There's Rosa's on Faudree, then Market Street on JBS, the corner of Tanglewood and Pembroke, HEB and 42nd's parking lot, and Connection Christian Church. It's at 7, which includes a worship service.
And you shouldn't have any problems heading out the door either. We're going to see some pretty nice conditions for the next couple of days, even though, yeah, I have 2 separate cold fronts, but do they even deserve that as a title? Probably not once you see the projected temperatures. I got to look at those next.